Technically, remember, we have already done all this. We've done it with equal signs. We just haven't done it with inequality signs, okay? So we're going to take the same process. We're going to solve the inequalities. What's the only difference in solving inequalities versus equations? Or what's one of the differences? It's got the greater than or less than symbol, but what else about it? How is it different in the solving process? What do you do differently? You graph. What else? There's one thing that's funny when you're solving. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, what happens? It changes the sign. Does everybody remember that? The only difference in solving is if you are multiplying or dividing by a negative number. Like this, okay? I need to get rid of the -2, so I do what? Divide by -2. But because this is negative, you got to switch that. That's right. So it's x is greater than -8. Now, let me say this because in looking at your quizzes, yes, Jordan? If you multiply or divide by a negative, yes. But listen, in looking at your quizzes, there was a couple things that I need to address and make sure you understand. Yes. Yes. All right, guys, girls. What if it looked like this? What if the negative was over there and I needed to get x by itself? What would you do? Divide by 2. So my question is, I'm dividing by 2, but this is negative over here. Does the sign switch?
No.
Yes.
No.
Unless you multiply or divide.
That's right. You have to be multiplying or dividing by a negative to switch the sign. Make sure you understand that because I saw that a lot on your quizzes, okay? If you divide by a negative, if what you divide by is negative, like this, see I divided by negative, the sign switches. But if you started out with a negative and you're divided by a positive, you don't change the sign. Okay? All right, multi-step, y'all ready?
No.
What? Tell me this. Let's go back, guys, for just a minute to equations. 2 must be my magic number today. Give me a number, Zaya.
6.
Give me an odd number. Give me a number.
5.
You'll see why in a minute whenever we're solving this. All right, so my question is, we've done this. This was chapter 2. Okay. But I want to know if I could cut that off. Guys, thank you. All right, looking at this, I know you guys know what to do first, right? Subtract 3, right? If I'm solving it for x. But my question is, we talked a lot about how to know what it is you do in the order that you do it. What is that order that you solve in? Yes. Remember? Not sad in math, sad math. Okay? And I remember I got y'all to write it at the top of your paper every time you were solving to make sure you were going in the right order. Oh my goodness.
I still don't get this stuff.
I still don't get it either. Send me subtract.
Guys, listen, guys. We go in backwards order of operations, okay? Addition, subtraction first, then multiplication, division, then exponents, and then parentheses. Yes? All right. So looking at this equation, that tells me that's how I know to take care of the addition first, right? So I subtract 3 from both sides. I get 2x equals 5 minus 3 is 2. Now I divide by 2 on both sides because the 2 is what's hooked to the x. Okay? So the good thing about if you didn't have a really good grasp on solving equations, or maybe that chapter 2 wasn't your best chapter, your best performance so far, that's essentially what we're doing again, except now it's going to look something like this.
Oh, yeah.
There were a couple multi-steps on there, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Huh? It's the same thing. That's what I said. It's the same thing. So I'm still going sad map. Remember that parentheses are absolutely last, but since I don't see any parentheses, I'm not going to worry about that. So do you see any addition, subtraction that I can take care of? Subtract 3. So now I have 2x is less than 2. And now what? You divide by 2. So now I'm also going to graph this because we've talked a lot about graphing, right? Your graphing looked pretty good on everything. And it was the solving part that we were having trouble with. So remember, I'm going to start at 1. I'll go up a couple. I'll come down a couple. Is it open or closed? Open. Should it go left or should it go right? Okay. Little less than, little left. Let's do another one. Guys, remember, you can watch me do examples all day long, but if you don't practice with it, you won't get it. It looks easy because I'm doing it because I know how to do it, right? All right, let's do another. I'm going to take you through several different types of examples. Tell me when you... Here we go. Still easy, still two-stepper. Okay. Remember sad math. What do I do first?
Plus 7.
Plus 7 on both sides. What is 8 plus 7? Hello.
15.
What do you do next?
Divide 3. And 8 is 5. This will get closer for it.
That's right. So we're less than or equal to. I got 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go down a few. 3 and 2. Is it closed or is it open? It's closed.
And it is
To the left.
No.
Let's kick it up a notch. Everything, here's the bad part about it though. Every way we learn to solve equations in chapter 2, remember chapter 2 is all about solving equations. If we got variables on both sides, one step, multi-step, all those are in this one section here with inequalities. Okay, so, but we're going to review them. Y'all got this? That's a 0.6.
That was on the little thing that we had yesterday. Oh, it's right here.
What should I do? Distribute. Y'all want to distribute? All right. If I distribute here, I've got negative 0.6x. What's negative 0.6 times negative 5? We know it's going to be a positive because it's a negative times a negative. But you got a decimal in there. But you're close, Saya. So adjust for the decimal. Multiply, yeah. Zaya said 30, and she's close. You said 0.30, so now let's split the difference. Let's
Hey, Mr. G, why did you put an addition sign?
no, well, watch the decimal.
This is the exact sign.
It's a negative times a negative. Yes, Aiden. It's 3.0, yes, so it's just 3. Okay? Less than or equal to 15. Stay with me. No, Zaya. Gabby. Don't come back acting a fool now. Come on. All right. Shh, 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 shh. I'm solving here. Guys, I feel like I am fighting to teach you this. I shouldn't have to fight to teach you anything. Everybody's worried about their grades, so they should be completely intent on the lesson. All right, how do I solve this? What do I do first? You don't have to put it on there. 3.0 is the same thing as 3. All right, what should I do first? Subtract 3. All right, I got negative 0.6x is less than or equal to 12.
No, because
You gotta divide.
you gotta divide.
I haven't divided yet. I need to divide by what?
-6.
Negative .6. Now, what is going on here? Yes, Kamara, say it again. You gotta flip the sign. Why?
Because you divided by all the neighbors.
So it's gonna be x is greater than or equal to, Christian with the calculator. What is 12 divided by negative 0.6?
Negative 20.
Negative 20. Okay. This time I'm greater than, so I'm doing my number line. Negative 20. I'm going to go up a few. I'm going to go down a few. Is it open or closed?
Close. Open.
It's closed. And it's going.
See, why can we just put numbers in?
That's what I did.
No, not.
No, I didn't put the extra. I just put one.
You need a couple extra.
I put one.
I put
And
one.
then I put another. And then I'm up.
All right. This one looks different. This one looks a little more difficult.
You gotta combine it.
I've got more than one variable in this one.
I know what to do. The small, if you take the smaller variable, you do minus 2x both sides, and then you flip it.
You're right. Y'all were both saying it. Y'all just saying it. All right, take a look. I have two variables on different sides. I need to get them together. Yes? Not first. First, I have to get my variables together. When you see more than one variable in there, you have to get them together. All right. Which one should we move? 2x. Why 2x? It's the smaller of the two. Remember we talked about it's generally easier to move the smaller one. You don't necessarily have to, but it's generally easier. So I'm going to move. How do I move 2x?
By subtracting 2x both
Subtracting.
sides.
On the left, guys, I need y'all serious, okay? On the left, look at my x terms, Zaya. Come on. What is 6x minus 2x?
4x.
4x.
Wait, what did it be? Negative 4x?
6 minus 2 is 4, right? The minus 7 is still there. The 2 x's are gone. And what's left?
Plus 17.
Which just means positive 17, right?
Plus 7 on both sides.
Now we're back to what they look like when we first started. So Zaya says plus 7 on both sides. So I'm going to add the 7 to both sides.
24.
Then divide 24 by 4, and then you get.
But he wait a minute, he gets 6.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
That's right.
like.
Divided by 4.
Then you bracket.
And you get 6. All right, so 6 is on your number line. 7, 8, 5, 4. Is it open or closed?
Open.
Is it to the left or to the right?
Okay, but what is
Is that it, or we're gonna be doing a fraction?
We got a couple more things to talk about with it. Because we're going to come up to some special scenarios. Remember when we were solving linear equations and sometimes we would solve them and something special happens? Special cases, that's exactly right. That's going to happen with inequalities too. So I want to talk to you for, you'll see when we do it. We're going to walk through solving it the same way, but then something special is going to happen at the end. No?
I'm just gonna sit in the back.
No, you have to. You don't have a choice. It's an assigned seat. Yes.
Oh my Jesus.
All right. Let's say I have 14x plus 5 is less than Mackay. The next person I'm going to send out to Miss Lee, and you can deal with her on why you are distracting my class while we are teaching.
I realized, I thought you was talking about the work until you say Miss Lee. I'm like, what? Yeah, you know you. Are you still?
All right. Looking at this. I'm not telling you what's special about it. You're going to see what's special about it when we get to the end. So I want you to solve it as normal. So when you look at this, what's the first thing that you think you should do? Distribute. So I have 14x plus 5 is less than what?
14.
14x
Minus 14.
All right. I have an inequality with x's on both sides of it. What should I do? Is that my phone?
Yes.
What should I do?
You gotta subtract both, but it's gonna be no solution at all.
You got, okay, one step at a time.
14x minus 14x.
Okay, so I'm going to move this 14x. I'm going to move it over here. But, uh-oh.
Because if you do that, you're not gonna be a solution because 5 is not equal to negative 21, so you get no solution.
Okay, you're close.
Oh, close?
You're
Yeah,
close.
right.
All right, well, yes, but your reasoning is a little, okay, we're going to talk about it. 14x minus 14x is what? 0. That's gone. So I'm left with 5.
Oh.
14x minus 14x, again, that's gone. Negative 21 is still there, right? So my question to you is, since there is no x, is that true or is that false or is it sometimes true? Describe that inequality.
Okay, sometimes.
Is 5 ever smaller than negative 21? No, that can never be true, right? That's false.
Oh, so that's
So because it's false, that means we're back like you said, Christian. No solution. You were, yeah. Because you said because 5 doesn't equal negative 21, but you have to think about it a little bit different with inequalities. You have to think, is 5 less than negative 21? Okay? Because if it were less than 21, it would be another situation that we're going to look at. Let's do another. Ready? Let's say I have 1 minus 8s equal less than or equal to negative 4 times 2s minus 1. What to do, what to do, what to do. Distribute. All right, on the left, 1 minus 8s. On the right, what's negative 4 times 2s?
Negative 4.
Negative 4 times negative 1.
Oh.
Positive, that's right, positive 4. What should I do? Plus, because it's negative. Now watch what happens. Those are gone, but those are gone also, right? Because they're opposites. I have 1 is less than or equal to 4. That's true, right? Is 1 less than 4?
I didn't see it. My bad. I didn't see it.
Then the answer is all real numbers. Okay? So, you see what we did in chapter 2 that took us a whole entire chapter to get through, which this is the way math works. You learn something and then you build on the something that you learned. So what we learned, what we took a whole chapter 2 to learn, now we're condensing that down into one section in chapter 5 with inequalities. Okay?